Hey everybody, it is day 19 and I'm just happy to say I'm still feeling pretty well, still home, and my day at the clinic was pretty good. I'll go over those results in just a minute, but the reason why I wanted to do this video blog today was basically just to give you a breakdown of what I've been through, kind of the preparatory treatment and things like that, especially for those of you who may be going through a bone marrow transplant, especially those who with aplastic anemia. Just to give you an example, like every treatment center is going to have their own way of doing things. I'm not saying my treatment center is better than anybody else's, but this is just an example, a personal example and a personal journey, just so that you have a little more information. And if you have questions with your doctors, you can ask those questions. That's basically what I did before I came in here to kind of understand better. And I think it's always a good idea just to go in with the best amount of knowledge you can, so you can ask the questions that you need to ask. So basically, I was admitted, and the first thing that I did was receive Cytoxan, and that is a chemotherapy treatment. And I received 4 doses of Cytoxan, followed by 3 doses of ATG. So on day -5, I had Cytoxan. Day -4 is when I started ATG and Cytoxan, so I had them both on those days. Um, there's a lot of different theories. I've seen people say they get 4 doses of ATG, sometimes 5. The reason why my team decided to do what they did is because I had really no cells left to kill. My aplastic anemia left me with a very small amount of bone marrow. I mean, I had low platelets, low red blood cells, low everything. So their goal was to do as little that they needed to do, basically, to kill that stuff off. They didn't want to poison me any more than they had to. So anyway, and it seemed to work because by day -4 or 3, I was at 0 white blood cells. So I mean, it worked pretty quick. It didn't take much. The first day I got ATG, I developed a fever, and the ATG really just kind of knocked me out for a while. I had pretty bad nausea, threw up a whole bunch, was pretty sick, and that was why Jackie was posting for a while. And honestly, during my entire hospital stay, that was the worst of it. That ATG serum sickness was pretty bad, but it lasted about a week or so, and I started coming out of it. And outside of fatigue and some sleepless nights and things like that, I have to say the overall journey really, wasn't that bad in the hospital. You could tell my nose is kind of stuffy and I'm a bit nasal sounding. Originally, I thought that was mucositis. I developed that maybe day -2, something like that. But right now they're thinking it might actually be allergies because I still have it and it's clear. It's not like it's got any gross stuff in it. But it's just constant. I'm going through boxes of tissue paper, so I'm hoping that clears up. Another issue that I had is a issue with urination. When I would go, it would feel like all of a sudden it would just stop. And one of my nurses, who was 61 years old, says, "Get used to that." But you know what? I'm 30. I'll get used to that when I'm 60. So we laughed about it. But so they're trying to figure out exactly what that is. It could be due to the cyclosporin. There's 9,000 side effects of cyclosporin if you look those up. And I'm experiencing some of them. Like I have some slight tremors. I have some tingling in my extremities. Those things all kind of happen with cyclosporin, but nothing major, nothing that's keeping me from getting around and doing things. So they did the preparatory treatment. Day -1 is a day of rest. They don't give you any chemo, nothing like that. It's just a day for your body just to kind of rest before you get the transplant. And then on day 0, that's when you get your transplant, and that is when we say happy birthday, and that's your rebirth. So the transplant went well, everything went in fine. One of the things they did do is I was looking at my discharge summary. They did end up taking out a lot of it says let's see, all but 28 milliliters of red blood was removed because they did some research, and basically I've had, I think at that time 10 or 11, maybe 12 red blood transfusions and about 30 platelets, and I developed some antibodies, and so they actually found those antibodies in the marrow, matched them up, and basically just got rid of all the red blood to, this way there wouldn't be any reaction. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was pretty astute in my team. The lead doctor on my team has like 20 plus years of experience in bone marrow transplant. He's the one who caught it and did it, so I'm quite thankful for that because I think that saves me from some possible reactions down the road. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, that was really about it. The blood pressure issue, I've had high blood pressure, like I said, since I was 21. Um, but since the marrow started to take, since I started to engraft, my blood pressure's been normal, and that is an absolute miracle. There's no other way to explain it because, I mean, it's just, bone marrow transplants aren't supposed to heal high blood pressure, but who knows? Who knows where it was connected to? They never really could find out why I had the high blood pressure. So anyway, it's just quite awesome because I'm on this high dose cyclosporin, which raises your blood pressure, and somehow my blood pressure is staying normal. So I just chalked it up to God. That's a miracle. Um, to give you an update on today's visit, very well. Basically, I'm going in there and I'm getting fluids and I'm getting magnesium because the cyclosporin is just chewing it up. But I think you guys will be pretty happy with my results I got here. My white blood cell count, 7.2. Yeah, that's cool. Now, we're still expecting that that could drop a little bit. Even though I didn't receive any Neupogen yesterday, this could still be a little bit of the Neupogen effect as to why it's going up. So again, they still say that it could drop 50% before it comes back up. So we'll keep an eye on that. My red blood is holding steady, and my platelets are at 24, and so they're holding steady as well. Now the platelets, that's really exciting because what that means is that my body is producing platelets because they would be dropping faster. I was at 24, I think I was at 27 2 days ago, and I received platelets, I believe, 3 days ago, if I'm doing the math right. So it's dropping very slowly, and right now it's actually starting to stay steady. So if it stays that way, we might start to see that uptick, and that'll be really exciting. Things that they're keeping an eye on for me is my creatine level. That's how they measure your kidney function, and I'm at a 1.4. They want that to be about a 1. So that's going to be a constant battle for me. I've been on cyclosporin since August, and it was always a battle. That's why they kind of knocked down my cyclosporin dose really low before I came into my transplant. So they're going to keep that a real close eye on that, make sure they're not messing with my kidneys, and just it's going to be a constant balancing act. Excuse me. See? Told you. Nonstop. But that's something they're going to have to do a balancing act constantly with. You know, keeping that cyclosporin dose where they want it to prevent graft versus host disease, and but also not messing with my kidneys to develop any problems there. So I'll keep getting fluids and things like that. It's going to be something I have to keep an eye on. So other than that, I've been able to drive. I was able to drive to the clinic and walk, you know, on my own to the clinic, and you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, this whole journey has just been miraculous because I'm able to do a lot more than what I thought I could do at this point, and from what everybody's telling me I should be able to do at this point. So I just feel really blessed for that. And I know the road is still long ahead, and we're just taking it one day at a time. I got my sunblock. I'm staying inside. I'm wearing my mask when I go outside. I'm Purelling everything under the sun, doing everything I can just to keep safe during this critical period. And again, thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for your support. And again, I'll keep you guys posted as we go along. Thank you so much.